From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today, exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, we're returning to our favorite stomping grounds for the opening weekend of whitetail archery season.
Well, we're out in central Kentucky right now, and it's opening archery season, and we're chasing velvet bucks.
Of course, when you come into Kentucky this early in the season, it's the velvet deer. That's the draw. That's the main factor that you're excited about coming here for. And then, of course, you know, it's Kentucky. All these different farms to hunt. There's camaraderie with Salt River, so it's just a good time the whole time you're here.
A good hunting camp environment, gosh, we all cherish those. Whether we have memories of them as a kid or we're creating them today, they're just fun. You find that common bond, you cut up, you tease each other, you tell stories, you talk strategy, talk about upcoming trips and past memories that we've all made together. I mean, we've all hunted together several years on these trips over here. You know, Kevin and I think our first one was about 8 years ago. I don't even remember, in Kentucky. All of that just really sets up to make a cool backdrop.
Speaking of cool backdrops, the property our crew is hunting on this year happens to include a quaint little pond. And when Wade and Jeff find a pond, well, you know what that means.
Pond fishing's where so many people got their start. Me and you both included. We both spent a lot of time walking around ponds, and sometimes we go deer hunting, we get ponds.
Yeah, and that you can't turn down a trip to a pond just to go catch a few fish, no matter what size they are. Big, little, short, or tall. I mean,
I agree. We've done
just
it
have something to
before.
tug on your line.
And right now we're about to go down and launch a boat, which is not as probably one of the worst ones I've ever been in, but we are going to need cups, and they're not going to be for beverages.
This one could be a little sketchy, but I think it's worth a try.
I think it's worth a try. This boat had been there a long time. I mean, the entire back was, you know, covered in algae and moth and something else. Who knows what else was growing in there. There were tadpoles swimming around. We kind of cleaned it out, dragged the boat up on the shore, flipped it over, and we had some paddles that we had found. We didn't need a whole lot else. This has got some weight.
Oh, what's he got? Crappie.
Is it
Oh,
a
it's a
crappie?
crappie.
Ah, is it big enough to keep?
Hey. Oh, no!
That was a winner. I was using a panfish rod and reel combo from Bass Pro Shops with 20-pound Sunline braid and a 7-pound Sunline leader. Same thing I use on about all my crappie trips when I'm in my big bass boat. And whether you're a kid at 5 years old catching your first bluegill or you're 80 years old, you just can feel that tap tap and your rod loads up, and whether it's a bass jumping or a crappie kind of thrashing or a bluegill skipping sideways, it is still the best feeling in the world. It's a bite and it's coming in. Ooh, yeah, I like this as a crappie. Oh yes, big.
Yeah, good crappie.
Heck yeah. You know, in a farm pond, there's always a few apex predators in there. There's always a big bass in these farm ponds, and it's amazing how many times you know people can catch that big fish. And yeah, we were putting some on a stringer. We were getting ready for a fish fry, but you know, Jeff caught a biggin. That's one that's, you know, earned our respect that we let go. But when I talk about a biggin, it was a biggin. That sucker's a tank.
Oh, look, he's humpback.
Yeah, he is. Hey, that's a good one. Hold him up over here.
Look at that.
That's a good
We
one.
wasn't expecting that.
No.
Boy, that sucker's thick. Look at his back.
Farm ponds. Didn't he? The crappie we're supposed to
He
be
has. Well, he kind of mangled my little bill spin.
That's awesome.
That's cool. We won't let him go, don't we?
Go. Won't go in grease tonight.
No. You get to live, buddy. Thank you for the fight. There he goes. That was cool, wasn't it?
After landing that big one and stringing up several more fish, the guys headed back to camp for a fun night of fish frying and lying.
We knew about what we wanted to catch to have a fish fry. We had just, picked up a fish fryer. We've got all the batter. We got some hush puppies we're gonna make. We got some french fries that we're gonna throw in the grease. Jeff's over there cleaning the fish right now. I mean, fresh fish, fishing in a pond, fishing with your buddies. Everybody's here for deer camp. I mean, you just pretty much can't find a better Friday afternoon. It's gonna turn into a Friday night full of lies and eating fish, and then we'll get up tomorrow and we'll be thinking about deer hunting.
We'll return to the field in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel.
We've been coming to Kentucky for several years now, I think 6 years, and I'm one of the camera guys. But this year, Wade came up and said, we have an extra deer, Steve can't make it, and if you'd like to go hunt instead of being the camera guy, you're welcome to do it. And I'm like, well, heck yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat. So thank you, Steve Nessel, for not coming, so I got a chance to hunt.
We are headed to the stand. I'm trying to get all my stuff together, but well, it's in Kentucky. What that means is we're sitting in a tree at the top of a hill, looking over either a field or, I guarantee, a big draw. And hopefully the deer are gonna come out in the daylight. We're battling high temperatures and we're battling a big moon. So we're gonna sit in the tree, wait, and see what happens. Got my bow, got my pack. We're good to go.
So one of the stands that Wade put cameras out at, it had some deer coming to it. There were 3 bucks coming to it for sure, and one of the 3 was a shooter. Wade said, if that deer comes in, he's one you ought to look at taking. Well, I mean, if Wade says it's a good deer, and I look at it, it looks like a good deer, it's a good deer. And if he comes in, that's gonna be my shot. Not long after we got in the stand, we had turkeys come out almost immediately. I think we were still moving around. I think those turkeys eyeballed us, and they never came to us, but they stayed over near this fence line we were hunting, so we saw them all night long. Fun to watch them, but they knew something was up. They putted, and they were not gonna come near us. I'm sitting there daydreaming for a couple hours. Don't see much moving at all. Really wasn't expecting to see anything for a while. And then Michael just motions down to say, hey, we got deer. And I look up and see where his camera's pointed. And I couldn't see him initially. I was blocked by a tree, but then I saw him, and it was the 3 bucks that Wade was talking about. And one of them was the shooter. So those deer milled around, and finally they jumped the fence. They were probably 50 yards behind us. And I thought, well, maybe they'll turn and come to us, or maybe they'll circle around us and come in. Well, they kind of disappeared back there for a while, and I thought, well, okay, that's about it. And we'll come back and wait for them, look for them the next day. But lo and behold, what ended up being the shooter, he came back and came and walked right down our fence line towards us on our right-hand side. Took his time doing it, but he was there. So we just got a chance to watch him for a long time, and I got a chance to get my nerves under control as much as I can get my nerves under control. So it was just a waiting game and just watching him. Finally, our shooter, he comes into where he's in range. So now it's just a matter of getting him to turn broadside, and it's a matter of me getting drawn. And about this time, this is when I start to get my buck fever that I get every time. He kicked that left leg forward, I drew back on him, and I let it fly.
Hit him back. Hit him back. Sorry, dear.
Right there.
I know it. Right here. It's spinning right. All right, here we go. That's where it should have gone the first time. I'm sorry, dear. I get so dang nervous, and I thought I had it under control, and when I let go, I was right where my third arrow went, and I pulled it. I hit him high. Then I totally whiffed on the second one, trying to put him out of his misery. Third one, I finally composed myself a little bit and got him. Every time I'm like, now I gotta practice more. I gotta practice more. And today I was drilling him. This is the lesson to everybody. When you practice, you need to practice sitting in non-conventional ways. I got 1 foot down and 1 foot up. When I pulled back, I thought I was on him, and I pulled it. He's down. All right, well, we didn't have to go very far because my first shot, I hit him high. That disabled him. So I feel bad about that, but man, these deer are big bodied. Look at the size of this body. So, I mean, as you can see, this is my first shot. I did just flat out pulled it. I don't know what to tell you. My nerves got me. I thought I was on it. I wasn't. He's down on the ground. I missed him with my second shot. My third shot, I put it right where the first shot should have been. That finished him off, and you know, he's my first Kentucky whitetail in velvet. There's not many places you can go and hunt velvet. This is one of them. So he's definitely going on the wall. He's definitely going in the freezer, because I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity to actually hunt a velvet buck again.
Congratulations, Kevin. This Kentucky velvet whitetail will serve as a great memory for years to come. We'll return to the field in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. We're joining Scott Newby on the third day of opening archery weekend here in Kentucky. On the first 2 days that he sat high up in the trees, he saw a massive 10-point buck make his presence known. But this deer certainly hasn't made it easy for Scott to take a shot.
We'll see if that 10 actually gives us a shot this time. I mean, it's just comical the way that he's approaching us, pushing everything off and not giving us a good broadside shot, or even just one that's one that I'm confident of taking. But regardless, I mean, bucks are coming in this area consistently, so looking forward to getting to sit in. It's right about 5 o'clock, and definitely our hottest day we've got here so far in Kentucky, but hey, still beats being in the office, right? Third night coming into it, just kind of got comfortable and had that full expectation that there's probably going to be some bucks that come out. There could be a giant, but either way, it's good to get out there once again, climb up a tree, and just kind of become one with nature. Younger buck that came out for a little while. He kind of milled around for a little bit. Then another one. There was a split brow. It's funny because, like, the whole entire time, apparently that split brow had been coming out, and I didn't even see him. But then that was such a good deer. Just good mass to him, kind of like bladed in a sense. And man, it was like
I didn't want to give up the opportunity because I had it right there. He just kind of went quartered away a little bit. Definitely going to give it time because it was a little on the higher side, but I really do think that we got some good long in there, so we'll give him some time. And I'm going to let the guys know right now that an arrow has been flung. So he sent everyone a picture of the shot and probably almost got the best news I could have heard. From Wade, looks good. Want Kevin and Michael to come help. I'm sitting there overanalyzing, like, was it good, was it bad? I think it was good. Look at the shot. We're thinking like, oh yeah, it looks good. But when Wade says it, that's just a huge weight off my shoulders right now. So I'm starting to give him some more time. It's only been like 15 minutes since we shot, but I'll at least get Kevin and Michael on the way. But nothing better than hearing from Wade. Looks good on a shot, so getting lucky in Kentucky.
We'll return to the field in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel.
Kevin and Michael are pulling up, not to help track, to help load. Fingers crossed not to help track, but no, they're pulling up now, and so it's been about an hour after that text. Again, Wade said it looked like a good shot, so spent enough time. We're gonna go see if we can find them, and can't wait to get out there and see what we can see. There's the arrow. Right. Bunch of blood. Coming down a little hill that he was running down and found my arrow. It's about 20, 30 yards back. Found another blood spot here, and we're still just trying to stay on the trail to see where he went off to. And hopefully where he's laying. Oh yeah, we got some over here, all right. Whoo, dude. Holy moly, man. He has got some mass to him. Good night. Oh, look at that guy. Speaking of big. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh, too cool. It's so crazy because Wade was like, you know, have you seen that split brow? It's like, man, no, I haven't seen him at all. And then this guy walked out today, and we definitely didn't see him the past few sits. Holy moly, this guy's a beast. Dude, oh, it feels so good to finally find him too. Whew. I was starting to get worried when it really kind of lightened up, but man, he's just got a pretty coat too. That is a cool rack. He's just starting to lose some velvet on this side. You can tell when he crashed over here that he's rubbing some off, but man, that is too cool. Look at that. Oh, another great Kentucky hunt. And this guy, thank you very much, sir, will be feeding my family. There's nothing better than finding that deer, being able to load him up in that Wolverine X2 1000, drive him all the way back, get a load up in the trailer, head back to camp, and even having to drop him off at the process of the taxidermist and everything. I mean, just a great way to not only end our Kentucky hunt, but even just to start off the hunting season.
Congratulations, Scott. Looks like three's a charm after all. And this impressive buck will look great on your wall. Special thanks to Salt River Outfitters for hosting an excellent opening weekend once again. We love coming to Kentucky. From the camaraderie to the hunting and the gorgeous views, this is one of our favorite times of the year, and we guarantee we'll be back to do it all again next year. Hey, thank you for watching, and join us again next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.